Welcome to Chamba Sports, where we highlight our community in the youth sports space and talk about the real passion behind the sport, how it heals us and makes us the best players in the game. With the help of our athletes, our coaches, our parents, and the fans, that's all of us. Let's get into it. Thank you all for everybody who watched that Halloween special. It was super, super fun. We can't wait if you guys become a guest. We are going to bring everybody back for our Christmas special, so look forward to that. But today, I'm excited because we have a brand new sport and a brand new guest coming on today. So it is a basketball player, and I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Danica. I'm a junior at Golden Valley High School, and I play basketball.
Hi, Danica. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I love that smile. You're just so you're so happy. I love it.
Thank
so,
you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I
Okay.
am.
All right. So let's get into it because you're a basketball player. Basketball
Mhm.
season's around the corner.
Yes.
Like you just told us you have a game in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. So you're all ready and you are a junior. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm a junior.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how you got into playing. And I know you didn't only play basketball. You played another sport as well. Okay.
So I played a few sports. At first, I did competitive cheer for a good 9 years. And through that elementary school, I played a lot of sports. I played flag football. I played soccer. I played softball for a little bit too. I've done all the things, but I really stuck with basketball because for one, the coach, and two, my mom played a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one very encouraging factor.
So your mom plays a big role for you playing the sport.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you said flag football. I'm just gonna put this out there. I have these girls, and we want to go play flag football. So if you want to play flag football, let me know. I want to get a flag football team going.
Yeah, the recreational one.
Yeah, recreational.
But you guys will make it competitive. So.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's awesome. And you did cheer, so you did competitive cheer, and okay. So basketball, was it more of you did everything? So you got a little taste of all the sports and playing it. What was it that basketball kind of stuck? Other than your mom, right? But was it the sport? Was it what gives you the vibes?
I want to say it's the competitiveness. My coach loves to say that I'm just a pest on the court. He loves to say that he can put me on anybody and I'll be fine. So I think it's just the competitive nature of this sport. I really enjoy it. I really like it. And also the physicality of it. That's one thing that I really enjoy.
Tell me a little bit about the physicality.
Well, being really small, it's kind of hard, but my coach loves to say the farther you put them away from the basket, the taller you are. So, yeah, so if you keep them away, if you can deter them a little bit, I have an edge on that part. And I'm also really fast, really small, so I have that edge when it comes to bigger, slower players. So just being able to see through the disadvantage that I do have of the height, I think it makes it really enjoyable.
That is so cool. And how tall are you?
I'm 5 foot.
Me too. Well, but you look a little taller than me, so now I guess we're gonna have to fact check that. That's awesome. See, and that gives me some hope because I'm you're out there on the field and you are confident. I'm sure
yeah.
you it doesn't matter. Yeah, on the court. I said the court.
I think you said field.
No, I said on the
I
court.
am spacing out.
He's out of it. Oh, that's awesome. So you know what you're doing on that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the sport, how you go and do the tryout. What does training look like for basketball? Because I see football, I see soccer, I see volleyball, but is basketball a little different? What do you guys look like for warm-ups?
For conditioning, I think it's very cardio related, any sport would be. But when you look at the comparison of me and volleyball, you know what I mean, there's a lot of leg workouts that go into it, and there's a lot of I would say flexibility for diving and stuff like that, and making sure that you fall right and don't injure yourself. For basketball, it's a lot more cardio, a lot more running. It's very exhausting. It's very exhausting. And especially when it comes to my condition, it's hard for me to do some of those things. So sometimes we take a small little break because of how much running there is. But overall, it's not too bad, I don't think.
Okay. Well, you guys are running up and down, up and down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's soccer. It's like soccer, right? It's just more I guess shorter court, so just
Mhm.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, but when you're playing, it's like you like running the mile. Everybody hates running the mile. Nobody likes it. It's not enjoyable. But when you're on the basketball court, it feels completely different, and you're running so many more miles than just one.
Yeah.
So that's funny to me. Like I can't run a mile, but I can run up and down a basketball court.
That's so true. Well, yeah. I'm like,
Sorry.
it's crazy. And I'm just making sure I'm looking at him and seeing.
No. Sorry, this is throwing me off still. This guy's good.
So I know you mentioned right now a little bit about your illness, and that is one of the things that we decided, we want to talk about. And I'm so happy that you actually want to share it. So tell us a little bit about that, and for people who don't understand what that is.
So I have POTS. It is short for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And basically what it means, it affects the blood volume in my body. So my blood pools at my legs when I'm standing up, and my heart has to beat 10 times faster in order for my blood to get from my legs all the way back to my heart and to my brain. So I pass out very easily. And that's been seen a lot of times through me playing sports. I've passed out at volleyball tournaments. I've passed out at a few basketball games. So, and it also affects my daily life. So I think it's important to talk about, and also important because there's not as much research done on it. Like there's still no effective cure. You can take medication, but it doesn't stop it, which I've learned through basketball conditioning. It doesn't stop it completely. So I just think it's important to talk about, because a lot of refs and stuff don't take me seriously when I say like I need a break.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's how you battle through it, right? You just take frequent breaks more often. Okay.
Is because there's no cure, and it's just like, does the medication just kind of help slow it down, or like?
Yeah, the medication that I take, it lowers my heart rate, but I have to be monitored really closely, because as an athlete already, my resting heart rate is pretty low, like in the 40s. Okay. So you don't want it to get too low to where it's dangerous, but through like the amount of physical activity that I do, it benefits me more than it harms me. So that's one thing. I also wear an Apple Watch through a lot of my games in order to track my heart rate, so I know like what I'm doing, because once I get at about like 200 beats per minute, that's when I need to go sit down, because like I can start feeling like the dizziness and stuff like that. So I had one game where I had my Apple Watch on, and I told the ref, I had talked to him beforehand and was like, hey, I need to wear this. I have a condition that like I need to monitor my heart rate for. And he basically said, no, you don't. There's nothing that you need to for that.
Wow.
Oh,
whoa.
Yeah.
That's.
It was out of town. It was in Visalia, I believe. It was in Visalia. So yeah, there still are a lot of people that don't take it seriously, which is why like I think it's important to talk about. It's an important conversation to have.
Oh, and I think it's so good that you even brought it to us, right? Because we have a referee like agency where we have refs, and I think that's even important for us to know, because we don't know what conditions are out there, and we also need to,
But we do take it seriously whenever a kid tells us that they either need to take breaks, or they a lot of kids have asthma, so they have to make sure their inhalers next to them.
Yeah.
So we understand.
Or it's just allergies. Apparently, we just had someone who has allergies, so we learned that too with the pen, and a lot of people like we need to be made aware of that. Not just I know your coaches probably know, and your coaches are on top of you and they take care of you, but it's all of us as a whole. So the whole community, not only just the community here in Bakersfield, but as a sports community, we also need to learn and understand that's important, and we got to take care of you. Like, we got to take care of those players on the court, on the field, wherever you are. Like, guys, that's really important. And I'm so glad that you brought that, because a lot of people shy away, or they don't want to play the sport, right? They don't want to play a sport because they shy away from those things, because they think it's more of a hassle to kind of tell people, right? Than it is to like, I'm just going to suck it up. I'm not going to play the sport. Even though I love it, I can play recreational, but, I don't want to be on anybody,
It's still risk though, so. Yeah. And you don't never want to get risky like that much, so yeah.
So tell us a little about how, like, are your coaches are super supportive, I'm guessing. You've talked about him, and he's probably great. Yeah. But he knows of your condition, right?
My coach, when I first found out and started going through it my sophomore year, the first time that I passed out, we were at an away game, in Santa Maria, around that area. And at first nobody knew what was like really going on because I had never done that before. And so everybody was like swarming me, asking me if I was okay. My coach actually went with me to the hospital. Yeah, he went with me to the hospital, and he sat there and talked to me and basically told me that, like, whatever, because he already knew I was going through some medical stuff, but he made sure that I knew that whatever medical things I was going through, that didn't define me as a player, and it wasn't going to lessen me or wasn't going to make me worse. So, yeah, he's always been very supportive. All my teammates are as well. The first time that I passed out on school campuses, I actually called my teammates. I was like, hey, come find me. Like, I think something's going to go down. And they found me and they took care of me. So I'm grateful for my teammates and my coaches.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's so awesome that they're supportive. Like, they have your back and they got you. Now you got another extra supporter, so we'll be there in case you need us. So, and I'm sure that feels a certain type of way when that happens on the field, right? Or on the court. Sorry, yes, on the court. I keep saying field, but on the court. And but that doesn't define you. That doesn't define you as an athlete. Like, you are still there to play the game, to do the sport, and it's just something in the way, and you got to get through it. And as long as you work through it, you're gonna go and excel in higher level.
Yes,
you got this. So, you got anything?
Sorry, I'm working on it.
He's working on it. Well, tell us a little bit. I know we talked also about, like, this doesn't also affect your athletic, but it also affects your academics, right? Because even as us, like, we're adults, and when we go down, the older we get, I think the worse it gets. Like, if you got something wrong with you, you're just going down.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm sure academics, it's also hard. And you mentioned, maybe was it last year that you kind of went through this, and academically wise, how did that affect you?
So at first it started out as a stomach flu. That's what they labeled it as. And I was going to doctors because I had the worst stomach flu of my life. I wasn't going to school because I was like at home. And then I started passing out. And that's when it kind of got alarming. And it was like, okay, we need to do something about this. So I ended up going to online. And I did online for a little bit. And it helped in the aspect of it wasn't so draining for me to do everyday things, but at the same time, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing sports. I wasn't doing like anything. I was just kind of like laying and like rotting in my bed, which isn't good. And that, like, in turn for my mental health wasn't good for my academics. So, like, through all of this, I've kind of learned that, like, it doesn't define me. I allowed my chronic illness to define who I was and allowed it to take toll of my mental health. And it got so bad to the point where it was just like I couldn't do anything. And now I'm learning that, and I'm taking that, and I'm becoming a better person than who I was my sophomore year.
Yeah. No, I think that's important. And people don't understand that mental health plays such, I think I've gone through mental health. I think it's something that people don't consider, that it can really take a toll on your life, and it can really put you in a like, for you to feel you're in a bad situation, right? But once we push through it, like, we get through it.
Yeah.
And you know, and I can see that you're super smiley, you're happy. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a completely different person than you were last year. And as long as you keep striving, knowing that we're going to go through those, those stresses, we're going to go through those up and those downs, you're going to get through it. It's going to be great. And, I'm excited for what the future has for you. But talking about the future, tell us a little bit. You're a junior now, so you got 2 years, and we were just talking about this, but sports and going off to go play college sometimes is a little harder, because there is some advantages and there's some disadvantages for specific athletes and students and the areas that we serve. So tell us a little bit about what does that future kind of look like for you?
Well, it's kind of hard considering I'm a little smaller. A lot of places, like, the minimum height that they will take is 5'4", and I'm really not close to that, which is it's unfortunate, but that just means that I have to push 10 times harder in order to show what I can do that other people can't. As far as colleges, I want to go to BC. I want to get my gen ed done because I really don't want to pay the expensive tuition fees that California has to offer. But after that, I've been thinking about going to the University of Wyoming. My cousin actually graduated from there, and she's now a doctor.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I think that I want to do. I really loved it there.
Okay.
So you visited the campus already?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. We always would tell you guys, go visit the campus. You need to,
especially if you want to go there. Visit it first.
Yeah, visit first.
Yes, and then well, you'll see the environment how it is, and you'll see, and you will want to go.
And BC is always. We had this conversation with another one of our athletes. BC is always a great option because you start, you don't get yourself in all these loans and money, and but it's a great starting point, and then you decide where you want to go after that. And you guys are young, like this is your time. So that's awesome. But you also mentioned you have a brother.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your brother. Does he play a big role in your basketball career or what you want to do?
So funny story. My brother was actually, when my mom had my brother, she was really young and put him up for adoption. So he is, his adoptive parents took him in when he was a newborn, and they're the sweetest people ever. They were the most supportive people ever, and they helped him get into his baseball career. He played a few different sports. He played basketball. He's not the best at basketball. He's really not. But as far as the baseball, they supported him, and they did so much training. They did so much work with him, and he is now in his freshman year playing D1 baseball at a university.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is.
And I'm sure it's exciting for you because you get to see your brother play it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
that's my brother.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited for him.
So that's awesome. I mean, but it gives you motivation too. Like, because BC has a basketball program. So, that's your goal, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's go play, finish off high school, and go play, and then see if that, don't let your height get to you. Like, if I let my height get to me, we wouldn't be doing this. So.
Yeah, in the football world, there's still players that are really small, and I don't know if you ever watch football, but they're really small compared to the other guys. But I mean, they're still there.
Yeah.
So they find a way.
Don't let your height get in the way.
Yeah.
We're small and mighty.
Yeah,
that's what we are.
I think it's the funniest thing so my brother's 6'2", I believe, 6'2"-ish, and my sister is 5'5" about. So my siblings that play sports that don't require height are the tallest in the family. I told my brother, why are you playing, baseball? I love that for you. But at the same time, man, you could be the best at basketball. Come on now.
Well, and you have a lot of support, right?
I do, yeah.
So I know Grandma's a big supporter.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, and Grandma pushed a little bit for basketball.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
So, how is it having that support? Because, your brother has his support, but you have your support and your support system. How is that? How does that make you feel when you're out and, Grandma's not understanding sometimes, like you said, volleyball. And when you're playing volleyball, she doesn't get it. But when she's playing basketball, I'm sure she's front row center watching.
She's locked in, right?
Yeah, she is. My grandma is my biggest supporter. She never misses a game. She comes to all of my games. She makes sure to take off work if she needs to. The one game that she didn't come was the one game that I passed out at. So that kind of taught her a lesson. You can't leave her alone. So she comes to every game. She's the best. So is my sister. My sister is also super supportive and super understanding of my condition. So are my teammates, my coaches, everybody that's been involved with me knows me and knows how I function. And honestly, I think if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't even be playing the sport that I do. So I am super grateful of the support that they give me.
So all the passion and everything that comes from basketball, the motivation, what is it? Where is it at?
It comes from me wanting to overcome something. A lot of doctors told me I didn't have what I do, and a lot of doctors also told me that I should go get checked out by a psychiatrist. Some of them weren't as understanding. So it's wanting to overcome the mental battle of I can't do it pushes me to want to do it, because if I don't defy the odds, who will?
Oh, I love
well
that.
Spoken. Well spoken.
I love that. Yeah, and I think that's something that we can definitely take to the next generation, because you have something and maybe another person is going to have something else and something else, and they're going to make it feel like they can't do something, right? I think that's when I get real fed up when he tells me, I don't think we can do it. Watch me. So
for the record, I don't say that often, right?
Not often, but sometimes I'm like, watch me, we will do this. So I understand, even as like a woman perspective, like it gives you a little bit more drive to like, I'm going to go, you tell me I can't do something, I can do it. I can do it. So that's, great. I don't know. I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
Yes, I didn't tell you that. I swear.
I know he didn't tell me.
Yes, I believe in everything you do. Trust me.
That's awesome. And tell me about now. Like daily life kind of looks different. But now that we're talking about like, future, and you're a junior, right? This year has gone really fast. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I'm like, this school year it's just flying by. What are some of those recruitment or those things that you're looking at? Are you looking at scholarships? Because those are important. Even if you're going to BC, scholarships are important, especially for, any athlete or any student who wants to get a little bit more advanced, get some, funding. Are you looking at those things already?
Yeah. I've been talking to my counselor. Me and my counselor are super close, especially after like everything that she's kind of had to do for me. As far as like academic wise, we're very close, and she's talked to me about like funding for schools and scholarships. Originally when I told her like I didn't want to go to anything like private like UCLA, like I didn't want to go there, kind of just wanted to do my thing at BC, she told me to not let the funds stray me away from wanting to do something that I do want to. So she's very supportive, and also my grandma is as well. My grandma is always like, you have nothing to worry about. Like if I worry about it, she's gonna be the one person to tell me, don't worry about it. Like I got it. So I do have an advantage there where my grandma is very, very, very loving and supportive in that aspect. But yeah, I think looking into funding and scholarships is so important. And yeah, I think it's something that every junior, sophomore, even freshman should look into, because the more you know.
Yeah, the more options there will be, because you don't want to limit your options when you're almost at the finish line. Yeah. And I think that's one of those things that, you're high schoolers, and sometimes everything just, you forget. And it's like one of those things that is super important, because there's deadlines, right? Yes. So just make sure you're on top of those deadlines. You're turning in whatever they're asking you to turn in. And, it gives you more opportunity. And like you said, right?
What'd I say again?
His that you take.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
that's
take.
That's my famous quote. I don't bring it out for everybody. Yes, you miss 100% shots you don't take.
So, yes. And then is there anything in specific that you want to tell the next generation? I mean, you are coming with, you're bringing so much to the table, right? And there is going to be other athletes that might be like you, or might have asthma or some other illness, and they still want to play the sport. They still have the passion for the sport as much as you do. Is there anything that you want to share, you want to give them some advice on?
I would say don't allow whatever's going on to define you. I know that if I allowed myself to do that, I would not be in the position that I'm in right now at all. It's allow your family, your friends, coaches, and all that to support you. Don't try to have this individuality complex. Don't push yourself away because you think you're different. Allow yourself to be surrounded by people that will support you.
Yeah, that's important. So don't push us away, Sometimes it hurts our feelings, It does, because we want to be super supportive of, you guys and what you guys bring, and what you guys are going to offer, when you guys are older. So that's super important, guys. We are here to support you, not here to push you. Maybe a little bit.
As a coach, yes.
We're going to push you just a little bit, but we're definitely here to support you. And I think, as you guys get older, and you're a junior in high school, so you probably see it differently now than the generation before us, and so just allowing them to understand, like, my parents are supportive, whoever's with me is supportive of what I do, and they just want the best for you. So is there anyone that you want to thank?
I would love to thank my sweet grandmother, my siblings as well, my coach, Mr. Wilson, and my best friends, Aubrey, Kiara, and Karaya. I'd love to thank those people for just playing a big part in the journey and the person that I am.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank you. Thank you for coming and allowing just to share your story with us and allowing us to share it with everybody else. And I can't wait to see, you never know who you're going to inspire. And I'm so excited to see who that what my person might be.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes. So you got some supporters now. I get to go to basketball games because I could be like, I know somebody on the basketball team now. So thank you guys so much. We hope that you guys, feel this episode and you remember that we're here to support you in whatever we do. And we're also here to make a difference. And I think, Danica, you sharing that about the referees, I think that even brings us and gives us some insight on what we need to do as better parents, as better organizations, league admins, whatever we might be in the district. Like we need to make sure that we're doing it too for our community and for our kids, and we're on top of it.
Yes, we're protecting our youth. Yes.
Yeah, we got to protect our youth. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and don't forget
to like and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.